Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Dark Souls 3 here at Splat Panda. I'm Matt. Here we are at the High Wall of Lothric, ready to proceed with our adventures. We've come across dragons and hollows and all that kind of stuff. Lions and tigers and bears are next, I would imagine. So far so good. We've managed to avoid that pesky Baldur Knight. Hey! But this fella throwing shit at me is the last straw. I've had it. Now I'm going to take down this whole place. And I'm in charge of deciding who links this flame or doesn't. Got that drop attack though. So here in the high wall, it can be a little bit mazy, you know, a little bit of a little bit hard to remember where you haven't been. There's a couple places that have similar feels and things like that, so you just want to make sure you run out and you kind of explore all your options. So for one, we could proceed that way, which we will do shortly. But first, I want to go ahead and show you the basement area, which we can get to a couple of ways. But I'm going to do it this way first. I don't think we need to fall through the floor or anything like that. There's a couple of pesky pesks in here, but backstabs make things a little bit more manageable. Of course, he's got iframes during his stand-up animation, like in all Souls games. It was a little bit overly aggressive. So this is one of those areas that's locked, and you have to remember to come back later. We'll get this key from an NPC. We'll meet in a little bit if we can follow that quest line appropriately. But until then, we're just going to keep on keeping on. So we actually proceeded through an area that looked just like this, if you'll remember in the last episode. Also the oil there. I always forget about it. I'm always a little like... Dark Souls has a pretty cool way of sort of luring you through to enemies and then teaching you your lesson pretty quickly on just kind of making sure that you're actually scoping things out appropriately before you run into spaces. So some ways they do that. One, if an enemy ever runs away from you, it's probably not because he's afraid of you, but because he's going to fuck you up with his friends and he's trying to drag you out. Same with crystal lizards, still do the same thing to you. There's our mail breaker. We can actually see a little bit of foreshadowing here. That's an area we'll come to shortly. But another one is if an enemy just kind of stands there and doesn't bum rush you or show, traditional aggro, you're pretty safe to assume that there's a reason for that. So here we have Grey Rat, our main man. We don't have the means to save him just yet, but that's something we can coordinate before we're done here. So we're going to go back to that area where I said we could proceed forward, back upstairs. And that's where we will actually be able to progress with the level. But of course, in true Dark Souls fashion, you always sort of need to keep track of the things you find and what you might need to open or access or use those things, because you're probably going to want to come back to them later in order to get the most out of the game. And that's of course the case for us right now. But first we got to deal with some hollows. Alright, I'm just checking. I mean, I've seen most of the areas in this game, and I know where a lot of the items are, but it's always fun to just kind of explore, peek around corners, because A, it's been a hot minute. Come on. So, some people have differing opinions about how you're supposed to handle the part that's about to come up here. We have a hollow who has the ability to sort of, well, if you want to call it an ability, but is able to morph itself a la Udex Gundyr. It gets the big black mass on its back. So you can see the massive hollows up there. One of them in particular will become that. You can kill them before that happens, but I've heard that they only drop embers if you don't. So I wanted to kill this guy though before. I'm not worried about it. I don't want the ember. I don't feel like fucking with that thing. So those of you, if you know that that's true or not, let me know in the comments, because I am curious. We have actually another place where we can test it in this in High Wall. There's another area where there's a mass of those. One of them transforms into the black mass. The one thing that I wish that I had let it happen for, if you watch it, you can actually see the black mass fall from the sky rather than just coming out of its back, which is interesting from a lore perspective. I don't know exactly what it means, but it means these people don't seem to be just changing themselves. Also, is that black mass the abyss? Is that what that is? The continual spread of the abyss? Sort of linking back to Dark Souls 1, particularly the DLC in that game. I don't know the answer to that game, or to that question, but I would think that there's a reason for it, and it also almost feels a little bit Bloodborne-y. If any of you guys have played Bloodborne before, you know that's a little bit more of like a celestial game, a little bit Lovecraftian, deals more with sort of concepts of space and, you know, gods in that sense, rather than, you know, sort of your traditional like old English earthly god kind of things. I know that sounds sort of like an oxymoron, earthly god, but all right, we can manage to use just that Estus. No. Still want to dodge him because the fire itself will hurt. Especially if you don't shield yourself from it. So I'm not going to jump down yet to deal with the Executioner just yet. I don't think that that's something I'm interested in. But we're going to proceed this way first. There's a deep battle axe back this way, I believe. That's one of the reasons I want to do this. The other being... there's the key for Grey Rat. A lot of items over this way if you don't just rush straight on. That move by the boulders makes them a whole other ball game in Dark Souls 3 compared to 1, and I love it. I know we touched on that a little bit in the last episode, but that bash, it sort of forces you to be quick rather than just be able to circle strafe, which is, of course, sort of the convention. Dark Souls is known for sort of fucking with the conventions of not only what you know about it, but games in general. And see, that shield bash is so strong it can actually hurt you. Yo. He gets that shield up real quick, doesn't he? It's almost more like fighting an NPC online, or an NPC, an invader online, which I like. Alright, one more. Thank you. Give me something cool. Nope. Alright, I wanted your helmet. I don't want to go that way just yet. Let's go the other direction. Back to where I mentioned you could see down from it in the early stages, back by Grey Rat. We'll go see what was over there. I know there's a hollow to my left. I'll deal with him after I deal with Flaming Arrow Man. This guy is bummed out. Trying to mind his own business. There are items to be had. That's another tie back to the original Dark Souls, where you would find a body inside of a barrel, and I mean typically you'd find humanity in that body. In this case we found what's essentially Lloyd's talisman, and that's where we were peeking down just a few minutes ago. Oh, I forgot about you trying to sneak up, huh? Can't remember all you hollows, okay? Don't be offended. So our Estus situation is less than ideal. We obviously can improve those two. I'm going to save the other one to top off because we have to deal with dogs. You guys know how I feel about dogs. And I'd rather have that Estus remaining. And honestly, if we die in here, we die in here. That's kind of how I feel about that. Got a green blossom. I don't know if I've ever approached this room by doing that, honestly. Yeah, I don't think that I like that I approached this room by doing this. But I can get an ember, right? An Estus shard, that's right. I'm going to get out of dodge. I've drawn aggro from the entire room. And fire. Chances of this going well are slim to none. And I think Slim just left town. Wait for that stand-up animation to end. Alright, so somehow he's the only one who at least aggroed to follow me that far outside. So I'm not mad. Yo. Break the wagon wheels, get the broadsword. I'm excited to get the battle axe, though. take that shard back to Andre sooner rather than later, though. Because I will tell you what, we are... we can use every one of them that we could possibly take at this point. Thank you for being chill. Give me this. Is that what I already have? I think it is. Or at least something pretty close, but let's take a look. Oh, I didn't mean to turn it off. Oh, so I just have the plain old Night Shield. They're both 100 physical damage, but the Night Shield actually has better stability, so not an improvement. So we're going to keep this. But we'll read the lore on the Silver Eagle Kite Shield. Orthodox metal shield engraved with a crest depicting a silver eagle. Medium shields are the most average of shields, providing a practical balance of damage absorption, stability, and weight. It has the skill, the weapon skill. Equipping the shield in the left hand allows one to perform the skill of the right hand weapon. Great. So we have our new shield. We will not be using it. But I do want to also read the lore on the Estus shard. Where'd you go? Before we give it to Andre and I forget to. Does it not sit in a regular inventory slot? Oh, I'm stupid. A shard soaked in Estus. Give to the blacksmith at the shrine to increase usages of the Estus flask. In the old days, it was rare to see an Estus flask far from its owner, but this shard offers hope however shattered. It's hope for me, that's for sure. Alright, we might as well drink up because it's still not going to fill our health and ensures that a certain number of hits don't necessarily take us out in one go here. And we'll just have to loop back around knowing that we... Oh god, I forgot about the dog. I just told you guys about the dog 5 seconds ago and I forgot about it. Hey, dog, come on. Good dog. It's so Bloodborne, this dog. It's like the dogs you see in Central Yharnam if you guys have played Bloodborne. There we go. I want that. Give me that halberd. Alright, where's your buddy? And his giant axe. Oh, there's another dog down the stairs. I forgot about that. We're gonna run. Come on, dog. Fortunately, that thing is too heavy for his little hollow arms. You even lift, bro? And I believe the deep battle axe is down here. Nope, just a Selkie. I could have swore. Don't worry, guys. It's somewhere in this place. Maybe I'm just overly hopeful. Let me get my axe game on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Are we ready to go outside? Not with one Estus, we're not. I mean, no Estus. So I'll probably Homeward Bone. Ah. Titanite Shard. Now the room feels clear to me. You can tell me in the comments below what all I missed and call me a Scrub Lord. Whatever makes you feel good about yourself. Do we have Homeward Bones yet? Survey says probably not. Oh, I do have one. We'll go ahead to the Shran Bonfire. Cash in the Estus. Check with Andre. Maybe we can even level up. I don't know what it's costing us at this point. I don't know what a level with the old Firekeeper runs for these days. I don't know if we have like the Walmart of Firekeepers or like the Nordstrom of Firekeepers, but she serves me well. What's up, buddy?
Ah, well met. 'Tis good to see ye in good health. What needs smithing this day?
Reinforce it, baby.
Pretty be careful. I don't...
Hey, I didn't want it to be Ashen. Come here. Talk to me.
What?
Oh, I gotta rest first, that's why.
Pretty be careful.
So don't go making executive decisions for me, Andre. I guess I can take the Ashen Estus out of my usage slots just to keep things simple. And let's check with the Firekeeper, make sure we can.
Welcome home, Ashen One. Speak thine heart's desire. Ashen One, to be unkindled is... Very well, then hey.
All the same dialogues. I think we're gonna go Endurance. 2 levels of it. That should do the trick for now.
Farewell, Ashen One.
I don't really see a need to up my health considering my Estus isn't strong enough to refill a bar of that size anyway. And we can go ahead and travel back to the bonfire at the top of the wall. And this time, we'll go on down. Although we also have the cell key, so we might as well stop by. Say hi to our boy Grey Ray. I know it's Grey Rat, but look. I've got friends in high places. In high walls of Lothric. I guess he's a friend in a low place, really. But just let me live. Okay? Grey Rat's an interesting character. One of my favorites, actually, in the game. He has got, like, a true sense of, sort of, like, intrigue. His moral compass. You don't know if he's good or bad, because his friends are certainly not cool. So I like that dynamic of him being kind of, like, maybe one of the most genuine feeling characters you talk to in the game. Also really cool voice acting, but, I mean, honestly, at this point in the Souls series, like, who doesn't have good voice acting? They've sort of perfected that art, if you ask me. It's so minimalist, the dialogue's so good, but they just sort of have them talk just as much as they need to. It's never, like, overly done, never gives you the chance to feel like it's cheapened. That's our path forward. We don't want to do that just yet. Gray's down here. For whatever reason, so I've been playing Dark Souls 1 on PC, and for whatever reason, it doesn't let you do ladder slides in that one. And I've missed my ladder slide, so it's nice to have that back. The halberd. Not as OP as it was in Dark Souls 1. You do you, man. I know what you're thinking. Can only get me once. Fool me once, shame on me. No, that's not how it goes. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right? Is that it? Guys, help me. I got it. I think that was it. Alright, Grey Ray, what's up, brother? Look at him. In his badass outfit. He kind of looks like the bad guy in, like the big pillow man from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ah. You're no jailer, are you? No, you're from far away. And judging by the bell, you must be some of that unkindled ash. Remarkable. If that's true, then I have a favor to ask. Below the high wall is a musty little town. Not the home of any lord, just a very old settlement of undead. An old woman, Loretta, lives there. Please, give her this ring. I'm not asking for charity. In fact, if you do this for me, I'll be sure to repay you in kind. I may be a petty thief, but I've more wits than most royalty. What do you say then, huh?
Of course,
Very
buddy.
well. I humbly place my faith in you. I am Grey Rat of the Undead Settlement, and I promise to assist you. Give this ring to old Loretta at the base of the high wall. Do your part, and I'll do mine.
And he's gone. Which actually leads to one of my complaints about this game. I don't really understand why sometimes the NPCs just vanish instead of just disappearing after you load. Seems like that would have been avoidable to have sort of that goofy action. I've heard arguments that they're homeward boning, but there's sort of like a certain motion that's associated with the homeward bones, and so I don't know that I quite buy that that's what it is. It doesn't bother me as much as it did in my first playthrough, but it's just like, why not just have him sit there for a minute and say, yeah, I'll head out, like I'm just catching my breath or something like that, and then have him be gone next time you load the area. What the heck? Are those boxes floating? What? It's just a minor thing, but it happens with a few NPCs in this game, and it just sort of seems off-putting to me. So we proceed. And yes, I'm still going to go for the dude before he comes up. Yes, you guys can sneak up behind me. Don't think I don't see you back here. And yes, I'm going to kill you too. Right in the back. You might be praying or whatever the hell you're doing, but not on my watch. Oh. Forgot about you, though. Cut it out. Don't you know what's about to happen behind us? We don't have time to deal with you. Get out of here. Alright. So now we're going to go down toward the Executioner, which is just a real blasty blast. A rollicking good time. First I'm going to grab the item. I'm not going to just drop in willy-nilly. I'd rather walk in from the back. Although, actually, I don't think I want to deal with this archer. So maybe I will drop in willy-nilly. But will the amount of health I'll get by dropping in this way... Oh no, I can land on this. Okay. Nope, still hurts. Great. So we're going to go on a slow item collection run here. He hits so hard. And there's one area you don't want to find yourself in. I'm not in it yet, but I'm damn close. Come on, buddy. The key that you want to avoid is to not run out of stamina. Now, what you can do is this. See if I can't get him to come into the fire a little bit. Come on. That move. Jesus. I got a couple flames in on him. Probably not worth taking his tornado attack. Or it's holy light like he's fucking in Binding of Isaac. Get out of here. I'm never content unless I beat this guy, though. And I wish that I was beyond that. Oh, God. The fire pits. Come on. I drank at the worst possible time. Come on. Got a couple more flames in on him. There it is. Sorry for the silence. I had to focus. I hate that guy. You don't even get anything out of him, but I like to be able to just wander around this area. It's a really cool space. I like seeing all the dead boulder knights with the hollow armor. I'm not sure exactly what that means from a lore perspective. I don't know if I've mentioned this in this playthrough, but I'm no lore expert by any means. I like trying to study it. I like reading the item descriptions. What the? Was that your sword? You should have taken it, man. Finders keepers. I like trying to figure out what it all means, but I am no Vadavidya or ENB or anything like that. So if you want to get the in-depth lore, check out those guys. They know what's going on. But anyway, all these empty, Baldur armors, it suggests that something was in them, I would think. I mean, you know that the Silver Knight armor in Dark Souls 1 was hollow when it was sort of protecting the castle, or the Black Knight armor out in the world. But is that sort of the same thing here? Like, why are the pieces of armor hollow? Collect all the embers, so there's humanity lying around. See, there's clearly a person in that. No head. chug up, and let's just try to fight our way back to the shortcut. I'm not going to go deal with those knights just yet. Not until we've unlocked this. Whoa. Camera. What was that? Alright. We're going to have to contend with a fella. Oh, I'll just get this item while I'm here. Save the time. The Ring of Sacrifice. Too bad I don't have the souls that warrant using anything like that just yet. Maybe one day. I believe I have one more boulder to contend with before I can open this, or is it just ready? Oh, nope, just a barrage of bad hollows. Come on. I thought you had friends. Do you not? Yep, there they are. Nasty little trick right there. I thought I remembered something trying to stop you from getting to this shortcut. Fortunately, not a problem for us. I am going to actually take it because I need to rest. So that's what we're going to do. Grab the item. Some throwing knives. And we're going to open up this shortcut right here, which should lead to a familiar area to you folks. If you remember, it was an area when we looked down from the tower. I said we don't need to deal with this yet, but alas, here we are now. What I'm debating is now with 5 Estus, if I want to try to get the Claymore, which we might do that in the next episode. Might be an early game sword for us here, if not a long-term sword. I don't know. I didn't use the Claymore in my my playthrough in this game when it first came out, but it was one of my favorites in Dark Souls 1, and I never really committed to it in this one. It's just got a lot of range. It's not very fast though. I usually like to switch between that and the no resting because I'm being chased by a doggy. So we'll go ahead and rest. And I think, guys, that's where we're going to go ahead and call this episode. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and hit the like button below. Leave comments. Let me know what I missed, things you want to see me do differently, where you think we should go next, things like that. We love hearing from you. And, guys, if you want to see more from this, we have new episodes every single day, so hit subscribe if you want to see those. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again next time.